Welcome back to Body Beautiful. We'll be taking your calls with any questions you might have about liposuction. Here is the phone number, 800-440-4884. And again, we'll be putting the number for the doctor's office during and after the segment, so be ready with your pen and paper to jot that down. And also, any advice we give you today, certainly you want to consult your own physician as well. We were talking just during the break here that not to liken you to a mechanic or a plumber, but you were saying...
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, the body
I worked as a carpenter for many years. It got me through college, so
excellent.
Very helpful.
Well, so that's... But when somebody calls and says, hey, look, I saw this on TV, I want the laser lipo.
Sure. It happens a lot. People will call and say, hey, or they'll email saying, hey, I want laser lipo. I just see the lipo. I kind of ignore the laser part. Not that I don't want to offer them that, but my philosophy is, let's figure out what the problem is, and then we'll pick the tool. And it's a little bit like telling the plumber, I want to use this wrench, without telling them what the problem is. I think that if you're going to see, we talked about board-certified plastic surgeons, if you're going to see someone who's qualified, who knows what they're doing, they will have all those options available for you. Similar to what I've done with the lips on my blog, the most common thing is injectables.
Yeah.
So I talked a little bit about lip augmentation in general, I talked about injectables, but there's 4 other entries about surgery and other ways to treat lips.
Okay, I plead guilty to that because those of us in television, you know, we create this image and people see the before and after pictures and they think, oh, I want that, and I won't name any particular ads that we run, but...
Right, and it's important to know how to analyze those pictures. You will see companies that will put models who don't actually haven't had the procedure, they've never used it, but they look nice, and then you kind of subconsciously associate that looks nice with that procedure.
Right.
The other thing that can happen is they can play tricks with shading and lighting and makeup and the way people look before and after, where the pictures before may be very harsh lighting and accentuate every wrinkle, and the pictures after are very flat Hollywood lighting that's hiding all the wrinkles. Right, or you have somebody with a
sour face and they're, you know, not, and then the
sad before and happy afterwards.
You put a little tanning cream on them and they're good to go, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to avoid, because I know when I'm taking pictures of people after surgery, they tend to be happy and they want to smile, and it's sometimes hard for me to get them to not smile for the pictures.
But you look into the latest innovations. I mean, you're always following that.
Because you never know what's going to be the next greatest thing.
What is the next greatest thing? What are you interested in?
Well, you got to stay up on it, and I like all these new modalities. I like the fact that people are investing the time and energy and money into liposuction to see how it can be made better, speeding up recovery, decreasing pain, and perhaps someday even the ability to shrink the skin, which would be a huge jump forwards.
Without cutting?
Without cutting.
Well, how about we just take a pill, and wake up the next morning and everything's all tight and we're defying gravity? Maybe we need to go live on the moon and then...
You never know. With genetic engineering, they may find some gene that allows skin to tighten. I mean, why do the skin in our hand, why does it stay tight? Why does it not make a big web space in between? Why does it not get gathered up at the knuckles, whereas in other parts of the body it seems to? There's something about that skin that makes it maintain its shape.
And why does skin that's been burned heal differently, and skin that's been cut and there are different types of cells? And why don't we have to age at all?
There you go.
This is the big question of the morning.
Because if you think we have enough people on the planet now, we'd have a lot more.
Okay, that is getting to be an ethical discussion, which I would love to have you with you at some point. But I want to just get back to, just to wrap up the liposuction discussion. If somebody is considering liposuction, what should they first do? Do they come to you and you just say, look, if you have a little weight to lose, do it first?
Sure.
Make sure your health is in order.
There's
run a battery of tests.
There's lots of good information on the internet, sort of general information, but general information applies to the herd. It doesn't apply to the individual. So when it comes down to the individual, if it's something you're really seriously considering, even if you don't feel like you're ready for it yet, it's a great time to get the information. See someone who's qualified, see what's good, what's bad, what can help, what can't help, and it'll help you focus. And I think it provides motivation, because I've had patients who really weren't good candidates for liposuction. You spend a little time and talk to them about things that may help them with their lifestyle, they get better. And then they look at liposuction as the goal. It's like, oh, well, if I could do this, then I'm going to have my liposuction. And then once they've had it, that's something to protect. It's an investment. So it keeps them motivated.
Well, yeah, conversely, I mean, once you've had it, and have you seen people that then they start building up weight again, and does that undo the procedure?
It does happen, but I mean, if you're carefully selecting folks, most people will continue to be motivated and get better and better. And what's really incredible is they're doing all the work. I mean, I'm doing a little bit, getting rid of those areas that are disproportionate, but the patient's really doing most of the work.
Well, it's almost swimsuit season, and I tell you, there's nothing worse than looking in front of that mirror and trying out those swimsuits. But that's another matter. That's where spandex comes in. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Very funny.
Always interesting. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but we hope to see you again very soon. For more information about Dr. Mealy, you can call him 925-943-6353 or check him out on the web at drmealy.com, or you can follow him and his blog. This week is about lips. This is at San Francisco Plastic Surgery blog.com. Join us again tomorrow at 11 for yet another edition of Body Beautiful. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Doc. Thanks.
The information and advice given on this program is for general informational purposes only. For medical advice on specific treatments, medical professionals should be consulted. You should not initiate a course of treatment without consulting a qualified doctor. The opinions expressed on the program are those of the guests and not those of Cron TV, its management, employees, or advisors.